When my daughters and I visited St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church in Pilate, Haiti in April 2012, the parishioners were busily preparing for the ordination to priesthood of Rosamond Marceline, a young man who had grown up in this village. Even the church grounds were humming with activity as the church and courtyard were cleaned and women made food for the reception that would feed over 1,000 people after the ordination.
The deacon who's being ordained tomorrow, Rosamond Marceline, has arrived. And I have the cards from St. Teresa Parish ready to give to him. We're very excited. He's very sweet.
Sarah, Allison, and I had the pleasure of meeting Rosamond when he arrived in Pilate to prepare for the ordination. We explained to him that we had not known the ordination was going to happen when we planned our trip. After we had made our travel arrangements, I received a phone call from Father Snell Nord, the current pastor at St. Rose of Lima. Father Snell had been so excited that I could hardly understand him. He had just confirmed that Rosamond would be ordained at St. Rose of Lima during our visit. Later in our visit, my daughters and I enjoyed another chat with Rosamond, this time on our veranda. We told him that part of Father Snell's excitement had been that this would be the first time an ordination in Haiti would be allowed to take place outside of one of the country's two major cities, Cape Haitian or Port-au-Prince. Another part of the excitement was that Rosamond was to be ordained by his uncle, Bishop Yves-Marie Péon, a former pastor of St. Rose of Lima Parish. When ordination day arrived, in spite of the heat and lack of air conditioning, the villagers dressed to the hilt packed the church and its choir loft. Those who could not cram inside overfilled the church courtyard. Parishioners who were able to peeked through the windows just to catch some glimpse of this once-in-a-lifetime event. Sarah, Allison, and I were seated with the sisters from the hospital in the second row behind the young liturgical dancers. Our hearts were so full, and I have tears even now as I think of this momentous occasion. Mass was reverently and joyously celebrated. The procession into church was led by the bishop, with these beautiful men reverently gathering in the sanctuary. As we watched the nearly 4-hour ceremony unfold, I could not help but think of the huge significance of this event and what a great blessing it was for us to participate and share the parishioners' joy. For the Haitian people, the parish priest is truly a respected leader, the shepherd for their physical and spiritual life, just as the church is the undeniable center of the community. Father Snell had no idea how many fellow priests and seminarians would brave the treacherous roads and the many hours of travel to support and celebrate with their brother Rosamond. To everyone's astonishment, approximately 50 priests and seminarians attended, pouring into Pilate from all over Haiti. As I watched them bumping foreheads together during the ordination, giving each other the Haitian sign of peace, I remembered the previous day and night when the priests and seminarians, whose busy lives rarely allow them to visit each other, flooded into the Pilate Rectory complex. They were so happy to see each other. Their laughter and joyous banter were intoxicating. They literally picked each other up and danced with joy.
Dieu est le Père et pasteur de son Église, qu'il vous soutienne toujours de sa grâce, pour que vous accomplissiez fidèlement.
As the priests and seminarians participated in the solemn ordination, I could hardly keep from smiling at the memory of them being up into the wee hours of the morning, boisterously laughing, talking, and partying. The rectory did not have beds to accommodate all of these guests, so they slept on air mattresses, sleeping bags, and on blankets on the rectory floors and porches. Much snoring was heard. Some liturgical music was reverently cantered. Lively Caribbean selections were provided by the choir. One woman with a hauntingly lovely voice sang. The experience was joyously overwhelming. The bishop's homily included much wisdom to share with the congregation and his newly ordained nephew. The bishop also acknowledged Rosamond's parents and brothers and sisters. Then Rosamond gave his first homily, thanking all those whose actions had led him to this day. When collection time came, I was moved by how many of the parishioners donated their hard-earned money. Later, Father Snell introduced Sarah, Allison, and I in front of everyone and explained our relationship to their twin parish, St. Teresa.
I have to introduce you to my parishioners. This is Maribeth, and with two daughters, Sarah and Alison.
We had gifts to share with the newly ordained Father Rosamond and messages from our parishioners. Gifts were given to us as well.
I really want to offer you those gifts. Easy for me also. Maribeth has a very nice voice. She's a member of the choir in Paris St. Teresa in Evangelist. She's going to sing Ave Maria for us.
Before the closing, I had the deep privilege of singing the Ave Maria in Latin a cappella to the silent congregation. Mary was with us and blessing all in a most intimate way. It was indeed a holy experience. We all processed out to more music and the post-celebration began. The reception seemed like chaos, but somehow everyone was fed and the huge cake, made in the shape of a church and Bible, was served. By late afternoon the guests began to leave with many tears, laughter, and hugs. What a day! We rested for a bit and then packed for our journey home that would begin with Father Snell at 3 a.m. the next day.